Morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome in. Night 2 of the NBA draft is tonight. We also have first round of the Rocket Classic PGA going on. Wyndham Clark, who we have on our card, is in the mix, T3. Not going to get us that first round leader, unfortunately, but he is up in the mix. Minwoo Lee is tied for first, man, and I was deciding between him and Wyndham Clark. These were the last two guys on my card, so hopefully that has come back to burn us. Hopefully Wyndham Clark can kind of make a run as we head into the weekend. Trying to see anyone else that we have. Some of our other guys go off here soon. Podgeeter goes off at 12:21. We have him. Jake Knapp goes off at 12:43. We have him. And Chris Goddard, who we have as well, goes off at 1:16. So definitely some guys to watch here throughout the afternoon, see what can happen there. Not a huge NBA fan, but how do you like their pick at 4? I like it, Ryan. I think it's fine. I don't follow college, but what's the deal with Ace Bailey? Is he that talented to act like this? Yeah, okay. So, Ryan, as far as Charlotte, I'm fine with them taking Con Knipple. I probably, if it were my team, I would take Trey Johnson because I think Trey Johnson is the best player in this draft, not named Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper, I guess. Like, I would honestly have Trey Johnson like 2 or 3 in this class, personally, before they get on the court. So I would have taken Trey Johnson, but I had Con Knipple ranked higher than pretty much anybody. When I put out that mock draft a while ago, I had Con Knipple going 3rd, and everyone said I was crazy. He's not going to go that high, blah, blah, blah. And he went 4th. So I don't have any problems with him. I think like Con Knipple doesn't have the ceiling of some of these guys that got picked around him, but he has a higher floor. I think that he is definitely, I think he's a locked in 6, 7, 8, 9-year NBA player. Not going to be a number 1, probably not going to be a high end number 2, but I think he's going to contribute in the NBA for a long time. He's got good size. He's a pure shooter. I have no problems with the Hornets taking Con Knipple at 4. I think that's perfectly fine. I think Con Knipple would fit better as like a 2 or like a low end 2 or a high 3 on like a good team. Charlotte, not necessarily a good team at the moment, but I like Con Knipple. I think he is a very good player, so I don't have a problem with him at 4. As far as Ace Bailey goes, I don't know, Guru. I mean, I'm not high on Ace Bailey. I've made this known throughout this kind of pre-draft process. I mocked him pretty low. I think he's like I don't think I understand the upside that people talk about with him, but I think that there's, as low of a floor as you can get. Metrically, some alarming stuff with him as well. Like, definitely has some bust potential. And for him to come out and act like he was going to pick where he wanted to go, I don't know. I'm not his biggest fan. He can prove me wrong. And if he does in a year or 2 from now on the stream, I'll say I was wrong about Ace Bailey. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of his. I thought taking him over Trey Johnson is just an insane pick. I don't understand how Trey Johnson went 6th, and I don't understand how people were mocking Trey Johnson like 8. Like, what am I missing here? He's as good of a shooter as you're gonna find in this class. Definite upside. I like him a lot. I think he's tailor-made for today's NBA. So I think Trey Johnson was a great pick there at 6. We'll go pick by pick, though, because I don't really know what some of these teams were doing. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I was a little bit confused about some of these teams. So we'll talk about it. We also have some baseball, a lot of day baseball today. There's one pick I really like for baseball. Let me double check the odds on this. So this game is going to start at 2:11 p.m. and it is the Kansas City Royals and the Tampa Bay Rays. I like the over 10 runs in this game at minus 115 odds. That's my favorite play today. If you want to take some props in that game, hitter props, I think you can do that as well. Jack Caglione home run 5-1. I'm a little bit interested in. Hits, runs, RBIs. He's at minus 120 for 2. Let me check Bet365 quickly before we get into these NBA picks. Let me just check here. Because Bet365 has been hanging some pretty tasty home run odds lately. Let's see. Home run. Yeah, I mean, he's plus 575 there. Caglione, yeah, I think he would be a good no-sweat home run pick, yes. Plus 575 over on Bet365. I might put this in. All right. But yeah, I like the over 10 runs in the Rays and Royals game. That's my favorite pick of the day for baseball. Not a huge baseball slate, and it's like all day baseball. But it's very hot there, very humid. We got winds blowing out. Just, tailor-made spot for some offense today. That's why the total's that high, and that's why I'm fine. I'm pretty comfortable taking that over 10 runs in Tampa Bay and Kansas City. All right, as for the NBA draft, we'll go team by team here, pick by pick throughout the first round. Like I said, second round is tonight. Pick number 1, Cooper Flag, no shocker, no issues there. Great player, going to be a great player. Slam dunk, number 1 pick. Dylan Harper, same thing. I thought it was pretty clear that those guys are going to be 1 and 2. No problems there. 76ers take VJ Edgecombe. No issues with this pick at all. I like VJ Edgecombe. I put him probably 4th overall. I would have had Flag, Harper, Trey Johnson, Edgecombe as my top 4. So no problems with them. I think he fits well on their team. And Philly, man, I mean, I know like we hate on Embiid, or at least I do. Kind of jokingly, I don't actually have a problem with Embiid, but my issues with the people that have tried to say that he's better than Jokic for the last 3 years when it's just been evident that he's not. I don't know what we're going to get out of Embiid this year, man. First and foremost, I think that I mean, I don't have like any insider info, but I'm pretty sure Joel Embiid is significantly older than we think he is. Like he's listed at 31 years old. He's probably 34 or 35. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. Like when he came over, to Kansas, I'm just assuming that he was way older than he was. Like I feel like we don't really hear about that stuff anymore, but it definitely happens, especially in baseball. I feel like they used to like reveal those stories, but Joel Embiid, there's no way that he's 31 years old. He's probably 33, 34, 35. So I don't really know what we're getting from him, to be honest with you. Coming off this injury, coming off a lost season, but they are equipped in the East. They're one of the teams in the East that can compete this year. If we're taking Boston and Indy out of the equation, Cavs, Knicks, 76ers, Pistons, Magic, like these are the teams that have a very, very good chance to get to the NBA Finals. And the 76ers have pieces. Embiid, PG, they got Jared McCain hopefully coming back from injury, Tyrese Maxey. Like they are equipped to make a run at the East this year. I like VJ Edgecombe. Good pick there. No issues. We talked about Con Knipple earlier when Ryan asked, so I have no issues with that pick. I think that's fine. Kind of like the opposite of what Charlotte's been doing. I feel like they've been reaching for these higher upside guys in recent years. So now they kind of went high floor instead. Um, we'll see how it plays out. At number 5, Jazz took Ace Bailey. I already said I don't like this pick. Not a fan of the player. I would have taken Trey Johnson. Wizards get Trey Johnson at 6. Fantastic pick. I tweeted it last night. It took my entire lifetime. The Wizards did something good. They made a good draft pick. If you're a Wizards fan, Dewan, I know Nathan likes the Wizards. He's in chat a lot. You guys are going to be big fans of Trey Johnson, and I'll be rooting for him. Number 7, Pelicans. I don't really understand what the Pelicans were doing as a whole, but I like Jeremiah Fears. Again, Fears and Trey Johnson were kind of like my guys coming into this draft as in terms of the top guys. So good pick there. I have no problems with Jeremiah Fears. Hopefully he develops a little bit more as a shooter. He has a pretty good free throw percentage though, so I kind of have faith that he can develop that outside shot. Relentless, getting to the basket. Big fan of his. Jeremiah Fears, good pick at number 7. And now is when things start to get a little crazy here. So Nets reach for Yegor Demon at 8. I didn't understand the hate about this pick. I'm all for hating on the Nets because I don't really know what they're doing. But I didn't think this was a bad pick. I thought Demon was a fine reach at 8. Definitely, they're clearly going for ceiling here because they have they had all these first round picks. They were reaching for ceiling. They're looking to hit big on one of these picks. I respect that strategy, and I didn't think Demon was a bad pick at 8. I think Demon's going to translate very well to the NBA. I think he's going to be a good NBA player. So I didn't understand the immediate kind of negative reaction to this, and then I saw like Nets fans were like booing and being like, "Who is that?" Like if you don't know Yegor Demon, you just didn't watch college basketball last year. I don't really know like what else to say. Like he was a top recruit, went to BYU. You literally do not watch any college basketball if you don't know who he is. I didn't think it was that bad of a pick for the hate that it got. At number 9, the Raptors took Colin Murray-Boyles. I thought for sure they would take Malawach here. I thought they should have taken Malawach here. I'm not out on Colin Murray-Boyles. I don't think he's bad. But I thought Malawach was the clear pick there. And I don't know, everyone was making fun of like when he got drafted, he like was clearly not happy about getting drafted to the Raptors. I don't know. I think the Raptors fans were pretty salty about that. Not a bad pick. I would have taken Malawach though personally. At number 10, Suns trade obviously for number 10, and they, with the whole Kevin Durant deal, they stay with the pick. They take Malawach. If you guys don't know, Malawach is my new favorite player in the NBA. This kid is just the best. I want nothing more than him to be like a very good NBA player. He is, first of all, he didn't even start playing basketball until he was like 14, 15. To go from that to 4 years later, getting drafted top 10 in the NBA is pretty insane. I think he is just an immediate, very, very good defensive presence, rim protector, lob threat. He can develop offensively, and I think he's going to be a very, very good NBA player. I think he's a great kid. I am rooting for him more than anyone else. Malawach is my new favorite player. Is it weird the Suns took a center at 10 and also traded Mark Williams? I don't think so, just because they had no rim protection whatsoever. So now they do. And when you have guys like, Booker and some of these other, like, I would say they're not a great defensive team outside of like Ryan Dunn. So they have plenty of rim protection now. I mean, Mark Williams and Malawach both, I don't have a problem with it. But I'm a big fan of his, and I hope that he's good. I'm going to be rooting for him a lot. At 11, the Grizzlies traded up here to take Cedric Coward. We talked about Cedric Coward on stream yesterday. I took a flyer on him to go 8. I thought the Nets would get bold. I just was wrong on. They did get bold. I was just wrong on the player. They went with Demon over Cedric Coward, but I was pretty confident Cedric Coward was going to get picked much higher than anyone thought. He went 11th. Another like easy kid to root for. He had a couple D3 offers out of school, out of high school, and a couple years later, he's a lottery pick in the NBA. It's an easy guy to root for. I think he translates pretty well to the NBA. I'm pretty bullish on him. Good fit there with the Grizzlies. No problems there. At number 12, Bulls take Noah Senge. I thought they would have went Derek Queen here. If you saw my predictions video I did yesterday, 3 predictions for round 1, I thought the Bulls would take Derek Queen if he's on the board. They didn't. They took Noah Senge. They might not have thought Noah Senge would be there, though, because his draft proper's on like 10. So I think most people thought Noah Senge would be off the board by the time the Bulls drafted. I don't know much about him personally, so I'm not going to give my analysis on him. I don't know much about him. This is where stuff starts to get really, really wacky for me. Starting with number 13 here, the Atlanta Hawks get gifted the New Orleans Pelicans traded an unprotected first-round pick next year to move up 10 spots to take Derek Queen. I don't really understand. I don't know what the Pelicans are doing here. First of all, I don't really know if I would have to think about it, but I don't know how well Derek Queen fits next to Zion. But giving up an unprotected first-round pick next year to move up 10 spots makes 0 sense when you're moving up from 23 to 13. It's not like they were getting up to the top 3 in this draft. So Derek Queen essentially has to be like an all NBA level player for this trade to make any sense. Anyone defending this is either a Pelicans fan or they just have no entire clue what they're talking about. This is a completely terrible trade for the Pelicans. And the Hawks were probably, if you had a live feed on the Hawks draft room, they were probably like popping champagne bottles when the Pelicans called them and offered that. So I didn't really understand that trade. Nothing against Derek Queen. I'm rooting for him. I like Derek Queen, but I thought that was a terrible trade for the Pelicans. At 14, the Spurs take Carter Bryant. I'll admit I'm a little bit lower than consensus on Carter Bryant. Not a super big fan of him. I thought they could have done better here. We'll see how it works out. A lot of people seem to like Carter Bryant. I think, some alarming, I would say, metrics, when trying to forecast him. So I'm a little bit lower on him than consensus. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it works out. Thunder take Sorber here. That's fine. Good pick. No issues with him. Grizzlies trade this to the Blazers, and the Blazers take this kid from China, Yang Hansen. I don't really know. People were like joking because he was like sitting up in the crowd. They're like, "Oh my God, they're drafting guys from the crowd." Again, I don't know much about Yang Hansen, if he's going to be good or not. All I know is there's not a single person that had him mocked or projected anywhere near the lottery or the top 16 picks. This guy was supposed to be like a late second round pick. The Blazers trade in here and take him. And look, if this guy ends up being the next Jokic or whatever, we'll look back and laugh at this, but I would say the chances of that happening are less than 1%. And the Blazers are just having a really rough week here. Between that and this weird Drew Holiday trade that they made, I mean, I don't know, man. If I were a Blazers fan, I would be pretty upset today, to be quite honest with you. The Grizzlies, or not Grizzlies, The Wizards traded this pick to the Jazz. Jazz came up and took Walter Clayton. I think Walter Clayton 100% would have went to the Heat at 20. So the Jazz had to move up in front of the Heat to take him. I like Walter Clayton. I think he's very good. I don't really understand what the Jazz are doing, though, because they have a lot of guys that need the ball in their hands. So, I mean, we'll be looking for the Jazz to make some trades here because we're talking Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, Collier, Keontae George, Walter Clayton Jr., Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey, obviously more of a wing than those guards I just mentioned, but a lot of these guys need the ball in their hands. Like Ace Bailey needs kind of the ball in his hands. So I don't know. I don't really know. I think the Jazz will make some trades. I like Walter Clayton, but unsure of really what the Jazz are trying to do here. Heat taking Jackie Jonas, I think, is a good, just tailor-made Heat pick. They take the best available player that fell down to them. No problems with that. Asanul, I think, was a solid little flyer. Like the Pelicans, like the Hawks got to trade down and take Asanul, and they also got an unprotected first-round pick next year. Like I'm sure they're pretty happy with that. I thought the Thunder were going to stick at this pick and take Nick Clifford. They traded to the Kings, who took Nick Clifford. I like Nick Clifford a lot. I think he's underrated. I know we talked some smack about the Kings drafting yesterday. I think Nick Clifford is a good pick. Very good pick there at 24. Jace Richardson at 25. Danny Wolf falls all the way down here to 27. Like I said, the Nets kind of just took a bunch of swings on guys. I can't believe they kept all 5 picks. I don't really love any of their picks other than, like, I think Demon could be very good. I think Danny Wolf could be good. I don't really know. If I were a Nets fan, I'd probably be pretty upset. The Celtics, I thought the Celtics would take like Kalkbrenner or even like a Liam McNeely here. I don't know much about Hugo Gonzalez, so we'll kind of see. Hornets trade here to take Liam McNeely. Good pick. So the Hornets, and they kind of spoke about this after the draft. Their GM was talking how shooting runs the league. Like they just made a point of getting really good 3-point shooters. So no problems with that. And then the last pick here tonight, we'll see what happens. I think a couple guys that slipped out of the first round that I think are good picks. Ryan Kalkbrenner. Thero from Arkansas, I think, is a steal for whoever gets him, and Kalkbrenner. So those two guys I'll be looking to see where they go tonight. I could see one of these teams that did not pick last night maybe looking to move up into this range. So we'll see what happens there. But overall, it was a fun draft. I don't really know if I like the 2-night, to be honest. I think I like it 1 night for the NBA. But at the same time, there's also really, nothing else going on at the moment other than baseball. So I can understand them wanting to do the 2-night thing. Let's do a golf update. Minwoo Lee, 9 under. Wow, shot a 63. He's probably going to get first round leader. I was guessing like 7 or 8 would be the first round leader mark. So him getting to 9, looks like he birdied the last 3 holes. That's pretty tasty. I'm sure he was like 40. He was probably like 50-ish to 1 probably for first round leader. So shout out to you guys if anyone took him. I'm trying to look at everyone else. I mean, Wyndham Clark's still right there at 6, finished at 6 under. And then none of our other guys have gone off yet, I don't think. But yeah, if you guys tuned in later here, kind of ran through the first round of the NBA draft. Tomorrow we will be doing a big weekend preview. Obviously, we've got a big baseball slate on Friday. We'll recap whatever went on tonight in the NBA draft. We'll talk golf. Any NFL news or anything like that, we can hop in on that tomorrow. If you tuned in late, like I said, Tampa and Kansas City over 10. It's my favorite baseball pick today. Probably the only baseball pick I'm going to take. And other than that, I think that about does it for today. If you need any other assistance from me, hop in that Rolling Insights Discord, rollinginsights.com. Scroll down to the bottom with the social links. Hop in that Discord. I'll be in there all day and all night. So if you guys have any questions, you can reach out to me in there. Good luck tonight if you're betting DFS, fantasy sports, any of that. I'll be live tomorrow at 11, and we'll do it all again. So have a good day, everybody.